Good morning, community. How are you? I am Jenenne Macklin, speaker, wealth catalyst, and the visionary behind the brand Your Infinite Prosperity. Although I may want to change that to Claim Your Infinite Prosperity. And I have been empowering women, well, people, period, but specifically women, easily over the last 10 or 15 years, but specifically speaking and teaching and coaching and mentoring for at least the last 10 years, to move from a consciousness and thought of scarcity as it relates to money, life, love, joy, happiness, and step into prosperity. That this notion that there's not enough seems to keep us spinning around and around in circles because we believe what we tell ourselves is that there's not enough. So I wanted to hop on today to really share a wisdom that I've had to live with pretty much most of my life. Hey, Eric, what you doing up so early? You're supposed to be retired. And I lived with it for a long time. And it created a lot of shame. It created it wore and eroded my own sense of worth and value. And I suspect for many women, and probably for men too, we always think about this for women, but I suspect men have had this same awareness and consciousness too. So you guys let me know. But at a young age, because of a particular situation I went through, there was a philosophy that I embodied and lived for a good part of my life. And because of that, it positioned me in a position for lack, not enough, and another word that I'll use in a moment. But it took away all of my power because I spent all of my time in this particular energy. And when we're in this energy, it really robs us of any power that we have. It makes us think that we cannot rely on ourselves. It makes us think that we don't have the internal mechanisms or the internal, I want to say, connections to get through our day-to-day life experiences. So when we take this perspective, it robs us of our power. And oftentimes we take the perspective unknowingly. We don't realize that we've stepped into this position. We think we're advocating for ourselves. We think that we want people to see what's been done to us and they're going to side with us and they're going to make a choice and maybe they're going to fight for us. But the truth is no one can fight for us harder than we can fight for ourselves. Whether we've been taught how to, we can learn, but no one can fight for us harder than we can fight for ourselves because the fight that has to happen is an internal fight, not an external type fight. Let me ask you, how many times have you thought to yourself, now you won't think this word. This isn't the word you'll think, but what you'll say is, well, she did this or he did that, or can you believe they did this? Or look what they did to me. I don't know what's going on. And when we're saying those things, we're putting ourselves in a particular position. And that is a position that starts with the letter V. And I'm not talking about anything else that you may see in this reference when I do this. I'm talking about being a victim. This world is populated with everybody being a victim. This victim mentality of who did what to me and how they did it to me and poor me and look what they did and it's not fair and it shouldn't have happened and I don't know what I'm going to do just permeates our lives. And we take up residence in that consciousness as if it's a comfortable place to be. Trust me, I know. Trust me, I will not talk to you about anything I haven't lived, walked through, groveled through, cried through, rose through, and then stood up and celebrated. We think it's a comfortable position. I can remember being silently as a victim because of something that happened at 14 that I never talked to anyone about. But it impacted my sense of self. It impacted me and my consciousness so that as I was moving through life, I kept thinking things were happening to me. And that's the consciousness of victimhood. It's happening to me. They're doing this to me. My mom's doing it to me. I'm sure everybody's just 100% that Trump is doing something to them. And my sister did it to me. My husband did it to me. My boyfriend, my girlfriend did it to me. Someone's always doing something to us that puts us in a role of a victim. I lived in that road, in the shadow of that awareness for most of my life, easy till 40, 50 when my son came for his adoption. And then I had to do some of my own healing at that point. Then after that, I continued to live in it when I went through an experience with my son again around custody. I was the victim. Something was happening I didn't know about. Oh my God, look what's going on. Poor me, poor me, poor me, poor me. I must have milked that for at least 2 years. I drove two of my closest friends, who I was only two I would talk to about what's going on. Hi, Hummingbird. And I must have drove them crazy every day, calling about, this is what's happening, and this is what's going on, and it's not fair, and I can't believe it. Oh my God, I drove them and myself crazy. So I'm asking you, where are you claiming yourself as a victim? Who are you saying is doing what to you? And you're giving all of your power to them. Because here's the thing. When we look at the victim is usually outside of us. We cannot impact anything outside of us. We think we can, but we can't. You can barely impact our children. So if we can't impact anything outside of us, we don't have any power there. Our power is internal. It's eternal, internal. I like that too. It's eternal. We forever have power. And it's internal. So when we're looking out there, putting everything on them, we're giving all our power to them to make us happy, to make us feel better, to make things better. They can't do that. They don't have the power to do that. The only person who has the power to move us out of a victim consciousness and to step into the power that we truly have, that we've been innately given, I know, is us. Now, why we shy away from that power, I don't know, because I think we feel like, well, if I'm responsible and I make a mistake, then it's on me. Heck yeah, it's on you. Our whole life is on us. Who did you think it was on? It's between you and God, however you define that for yourself. So yeah, we do take responsibility for maybe we didn't make the best choice. Or here we go. I say, because sometimes I look at some of the stuff I did, like when I was 20 and 30, all I can say is I did the best I could with what I knew at that time and let myself off the hook not to do it again. So where are you claiming a victim in your life? Where are you telling yourself a story that this happened and that happened because of this, and this? I can't save. I can't be happy. I'm not going to find the love of my life. I can't live with peace because the president's crazy. I'm not going to be happy. How long are you going to continue to put all of your power and everything outside there for someone else to make you happy, as opposed to accepting the power that we do each have to impact our lives? We're the ones that impact our lives. Nobody else impacts our lives. Not the way we do. Why? Because we're with us every single moment of every single day, and we're talking to ourselves all the time. And we just don't pay attention to what we're saying to ourselves. You have the power within you. Don't ever think you've lost it. Where you lose it is when you look outside of yourself for the answer, as opposed to looking inside of yourself. What I did was switch a situation at a young age. I didn't switch it, though, until I was on Lisa Nichols' stage. And what I came out of that situation with in meditation was simply this. Let me see if I can remember it. Things happen to us. They don't happen to us. Things happen through us. They happen through our heart. They happen through our energy. They happen through really our heart. Because usually what's going on is our heart's been impacted. And we want to protect our heart. We act like the heart is something that's so temperamental that if it gets hurt or if it gets broken or whatever we think, it won't recover. Our heart is just infinite. It can take it all if we allow our heart to feel it. And when we feel it, then we let it go and we can go on from there. Life happens through us, not to us. Everything that's coming into our life, and trust me, it's taken me a long time to live from this perspective and live it on a regular basis. Everything that's coming to us is coming through us to shift and change us, not to isolate us, not to make us feel like we're a victim, not for us to pull back and say, oh, look at me, look what everybody's doing to me. Oh God, what am I going to do? Well, nothing, because nobody's going to come rescue you. Nobody rescue me. Nobody going to rescue you. Nobody's going to rescue any of us except for that infinite power and presence that we call God, life, in the universe. So I want you to look in your life and see where you have on your cape. It ain't a superwoman cape or a superman cape. The cape you have on is I'm a victim. And many people right now may feel like they're a victim of whatever Trump is doing. I don't take the position of being a victim because it leaves us powerless. Find whatever position that puts you in a position of power. If something hurts, then you get to decide if you're going to heal it. If something hurts, you get to decide if you're going to walk away. If something hurts, you get to decide what perspective you're going to use, what consciousness and what lenses you're going to look through to define how that hurt is going to impact you. What is it trying to teach you? What is it trying to show you about yourself? Learn that. The hurt will fall away. Your freedom will come. Your power will show up, and you can go on with life. But if you're anything like me, when I was younger, I could nurse a hurt in a heartbeat. I called one friend and say, this is what happened. Guess what she did? She did this, this, and this. Or they did that, that, and that. And you're like, oh, wow, that's too bad. I know such and such. And then you get a boohoo and a group that'll support you. And then they support what you're saying. Well, that doesn't help. You want somebody around you to say, listen, girlfriend, or boyfriend, or guy friend, or however you want to define it, because there's so many terms now. Listen, you have more power than you know. Yes, something hurt. Yes, something happened. Now, what's another way that you can look at that that's going to empower you so you're not walking around this world constantly thinking that you're a victim? Because when you give your victim status a status, you're giving it power. And all it's going to do is keep you in this circle. I just kept going around the same circle. You know, look what they're doing to me. Look what they're doing to me. It's not fair. Look what they're doing to me day after day, month after month. Oh, my God, year after year. Until one day I remember standing in my kitchen saying, I'm done. I'm not living this way anymore. I don't care what happens with my son. I don't care what happens with the relationships. I don't care what happens with the family. This is how I'm choosing to live. I will no longer claim myself as a victim no matter what happens. If the IRS charges me $3,000 for my taxes, I'm not a victim. I have the money to take care of it. When the car breaks down and the tires, I'm not a victim. When someone says something to me that I don't necessarily like, I'm not a victim. I get to choose how I'm going to hold that, how I'm going to carry that, and so do you. So that's your wisdom for today. Look inside of you and see where you may think that you're a victim. Someone's done something to you. The bank, the government, the county, the doctors, your sisters, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband. I mean, there's a list of who we could say did something to us. But you know who does it to us more than anybody else? We do it to ourselves because we won't own. We won't step into the possibility that we are the ones in charge of our lives, that we have more power than we know, and that if we're willing to access it and turn within. See, everything in the world keeps you focused outside of yourself. So long as you stay out there, you can't tap this power. You've got to be willing to set aside some time to be still and go within and learn how amazing and magnificent your inside is. In that stillness, in that quiet, in your prayer, in your meditation. Let it all go. Tell the universe, I'm not being a victim. So you need to help me get this straight in my own consciousness. I don't have time to be a victim. That leaves me powerless. Show me how to be the victor in my life. Show me how I can see how this is happening through me. It's going to make me a better person in my life. But being a victim, it's not going to serve you. Didn't serve me, won't serve you. It is a permeated consciousness that we have. Everybody on Facebook, everybody's a victim. Somebody's doing this to me. But no one takes responsibility of what we're doing to ourselves, what we're saying to ourselves, how we're judging ourselves, how we're criticizing ourselves, how we're putting ourselves down. I wouldn't want to be in you, with you, if that's what you did to you all day long. Well, that's the way our amazing, dynamic self that's within us feels. It's like you're missing how amazing you are. You're missing the power you do have because you keep giving it away to everybody else, to the man, to the government. When I say man, I mean your boyfriend, girlfriend, not the white man, because I don't have that consciousness. To your man, to your boyfriend, to your mom, to your sister, to your brother. You don't set boundaries. You don't say no. You're just doing, giving, and then complaining. Get comfortable with saying no. Get comfortable with setting boundaries. Get comfortable with knowing you have power and you get to decide how you're going to use it. See, every time I do this and the hummingbird comes, they always let me know what I'm saying is a good thing. You have the power. It's time for you to use it. It's like a car in your driveway. If you don't put the key in there and turn it, it ain't going to go nowhere. Where the power inside of you won't explode into your life and your affairs until you turn within and tap into it. So hit me back and let me know. Hashtag replay if you listen to this afterwards. Tell me where you're standing. Are you releasing victimhood? Are you refusing to step into a victim? I don't care what it is. Well, Jenenne, I was raped. Jenenne, I was molested. There are so many jokes now about women being molested that it's not even funny anymore. The number of women who have been molested throughout their lives. So we've all had it. The question is, what are we going to do about it now? No, you may not have had the great education. No, your mom and dad may have argued. My father was not alcoholic. He was a gambler. We all had those. What are you going to do now, today, with the power you do have to create your life? That's the question you want to ask, because there are no victims. I know that's a hard one to hear. I know you're going to talk to me about the children, you're going to talk about the rapists, you're going to talk about the immigrants. I'm still saying there are no victims. We have more power inside of us than we know. And we're willing to tap into that. You'll recognize it, you'll understand it, and you'll activate it, and you'll see it and experience it in your life. That's my Wednesday wisdom. Check in your life and see how that is for you, how that's going for you, being a victim, playing the victim. And let me tell you something. Your first thought is going to be, I'm not a victim. I don't do that. Just relax your little self, okay? Go in the quiet, go in the stillness with you. See where you've been milking it. See what you get from it. What did you get? When I was being a victim, I got support from friends basically okaying my victimhood. Because they couldn't, I was too in it for them to hear them say, but what if you looked at it a different way? What if you considered this? What if you considered that? But see, I was so much of being a victim that I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear it. But then when I decided one day, I'm like, I'm not going to live like this anymore. I don't want to live like that. I don't want to live cut off part of me from part of myself because of something that happened. I want to be present in my life, present in my body, present in my choices. That's the power we have to make those decisions. And when we make those decisions, the universe steps in and says, hey, I'll support you. But as long as we're being a victim, the universe can't support us. That's a very low, low, low energy and vibration to be a victim. When you can move yourself up vibrationally to be at a place of love, of joy, of forgiveness, of wholeness, and more importantly, of self-acceptance, that's a higher vibration. And yeah, I'm a person that deals with vibration because the whole universe is vibration and energy and everything is vibration. So you tell me what you think. How can I support you maybe in moving out of any victim roles? You can always set up a one-on-one consultation with me for, I think it's like 15 or 30 minutes. But where you find yourself as a victim is where you will find your sickness, where you'll find your frustration, where you'll find your struggle with money, where you'll find your unhappiness, because all that's connected to being a victim. You can't be a victim and be happy. You can't be a victim and be abundant. Check that out. You can't be a victim and be rich, because victimhood is a low energy and vibration. So all those things that you think you're a victim of, write them down. I'm a victim because this happened, because my mom did this, because my dad did that, because this. You've given your power to all those. And once you write those all down, I want you to go back and snatch back your power from every one of those situations. Your mama did the best. Dad did the best they could. Boyfriend, girlfriend, everybody's doing the best they can. So if you just give them a pass and say they did the best they could, you did the best you could, call it a 0, pull out 1 or 2 lessons that you learned from it and tell yourself you're not going to do it again because it's not worth it. Instead, you're going to do this. Don't affirm what you're not going to do. Affirm what you're going to do and go on with life. And let it go. Let it fall away. You'll be surprised how much power you'll step into, and the power of forgiveness for you and for them. And then let the universe take care of everything else that's happened. It happened through you, not to you. It happened for you to look at your life and claim your magnificence, no matter what. I don't care if he beat you, if he hit you, if he raped you, if he scared you, whatever it was, to be able to know that you're greater than that. And I'm talking to men and women. I know men get hit. I know women beat up men. I know men are dealing with crazy women too. Whatever it is, crazy mamas, crazy boyfriend, girl, whatever it is. You get to decide how you're going to hold it in your thinking and in your heart. I held what happened to me as shame for many years. So I just shut down certain parts of me and just worked very clearly because I didn't have to deal with the other part. But at some point I realized that's not going to serve me. I had to pull all of me together, look at it, examine it, and then make some decisions for myself. Nobody stopped me from stepping out of victimhood. No one said, oh, Jenenne, you got to stay and be a victim. No, we put ourselves in it because we define it, and we get to take our doggone self out because we define it. That's how powerful we are. Anyway, that's all I have to say for you today. Have an incredible Wednesday. Incredible Wednesday. Am I doing a call? I'm going to do a call next week on 3 power moves, I think, to position you to finish the rest of this year. I'll post those here. Hi, Hummingbird. So you can hop on it. I usually do those for my Your Infinite Prosperity community group. So if you're not on my email list, you wouldn't get it. But I'll post it here in case you want to join us. Okay, have a great day. More than a victim, you are victorious. You can be, you will be, and you already are. You just have to claim it. You can shake off any experience, say it's over with, it's done, I release it. Lord, life, universe, help me understand what I was supposed to learn from this experience and help me move on. Have a great day. Bye for now.